My name is Audia Knight. I go by. Sorry you don't see me because I have my camera hidden. I'm very camera shy. Um, some of y'all know me on TikTok if you watch some of my TikToks. Um, Pretty much I talk about life experiences. Um, I'm not very good at speaking. I have cats. I have two cats. One which had little kittens, four survived and doing good. So you probably hear me getting onto them in the background. And I have a puppy that likes to bark, and a Pyrenees and a pit bull that likes to play, and a chicken. So I'll probably be running around in and out, but I'll try not to disturb the stream. I do talk about God a lot. I talk about life experiences. Um, I love life experiences. There's something about life experiences. I think it makes us who we are. It really does. And it's not what defines us. It's what makes us stronger in who we are in our daily walk, our daily life. And I always try to make my streams child friendly, kids friendly, because being a mom of five. So yeah, I do try to make it children family friendly. Sorry, I don't talk very elegantly. Um, I do. I understand. I understand what's going on. A lot of people think I don't, and I do. I mean, I'm sort of like what they call a hermit. I don't. I don't mind being around people, talking to them, getting updates of what's going on around the world. And before I go on, I want to give my heart out to what is happening in Hawaii, what happened in Hawaii with the hurricane and the fires, and what's happening around the world for Christians and a lot of the chosen ones. You already knew what was going on. You've already seen it in visions. You've already read it in the Bible. And my heart goes out to those. And I pray that those who didn't know who God is will find God and Jesus through this time in their life. And I pray that the families will find some peace and comfort through all this and everything. And it's a shame the way our world is turning upside down, but we already knew this was going to happen. Like I said, this is my first video, so I'm really nervous. I don't mean to sound like I'm ready to break down and cry. I'm not. But I'm very shy when it comes to certain things, and I know that by certain things people can find your location. So that's another reason I don't show anything on my camera. I always keep my locations off, things like that. I try not to come on very long for several reasons because of location. People could ping you, whatever. I've actually had a stalker once on uh off the computer, and that's very scary having stalkers. And they would, I don't know how they ended up with my phone number. They got my phone number, and they'd call and everything, and it got pretty scary to the point I was keep saving all my chats and all the videos and the phone calls and the messages, and I was giving them to the detectives and the police. They did find the people that were doing it, and they did do something about it, and the calls did finally stop. I even actually had to go as far as changing my number, my home phone number, and my cell number and everything because of it. So that's why I don't ever show myself, so that way because people do have a way of being able to do this stuff, and I don't. I get a problem with trusting people, and I guess that's a good thing in a way because I'm able to know who is a liar and who isn't. And I always try to test people. I have I test them to see kind of people they are. And one of my favorite tests is the eye of the needle. When Jesus told his disciples and those around him, when he saw the Vincent or the gate, the doors in Israel, and then the smaller door in Israel, and he turns around and he says, "It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for the rich man." And I never really thought about that sermon when I was growing up. I mean, I didn't have much church when I was growing up, but I did know God. And eventually, later on in my videos, I'll explain more how I know God, or not God. I'm sorry, Jesus. I know Jesus. Believe it or not, I actually did see him, and he is beautiful, and he was very bright light, very very beautiful light. It's almost blinding. I mean, I think John the Revelator said it the best. It's so bright that you would fall to your face. You can't even look upon it. But I guess when you're a kid, I mean, he can dim the light to where you can see him and it's still bright. And I could still see the wounds in his hands and stuff and the lights coming from him. And people don't believe that. And he's very beautiful. There's no picture. I don't care. No black, white picture. There's no picture, nothing to show what he really looks like unless you actually see him. And a lot of people, they don't want to believe that you've seen Jesus, especially if you've been through something or if you died or something. But those who died or been through something, they know what I'm talking about. And he will have you experience hell. He will. He'll have you experience, and then he'll show you what heaven is. He will. Like I said, I'm not very eloquent at talking. I'm a very nervous person because I'm very camera shy. So it'd take me a few days to warm up. And this is my first time coming on here to make a video. And I do speak a lot about God and Jesus and what's going on in the world. And it's sad. It really is, because life is so short. It's like a twinkling of an eye, and you don't even realize how short it is until it's gone. You don't have it no more. So what you have now, be grateful for. In fact, be like, do what Jesus said. You know, to me, I would have just loved the camel out there at the gate and everything in it. I'd just walk through the gate. Forget that. I don't need it. That's how I am. If I don't need it, I'll leave it. If it wasn't meant for me, I don't need it. As long as I don't have to carry it around and I don't have to haul it on my back and I don't have to have something to haul it for me, I don't need it. Really, I don't. But yeah, like I said, my name is Audia Knight. I go by Audia Knight. And Audia Knight, well, Audia Knight actually has many meanings, but it actually means first earth. And of course, you know what night means, to serve the Lord or whatever. So my name actually means the first earth that serves the Lord. Strange, huh? And that's what I actually do. I serve the Lord with all my heart, all my might. Um, I've been tested. You'll go through tests, and sometimes you wonder why you feel like you're being attacked. It's not that you're being attacked. Because remember, if you look in Job, the devil wandered to and fro through the earth, and he came to God and God's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I was wandering through the earth, and I was trying to find somebody to mess with." And he's like, "Well, test my buddy Job here, and you just can't kill him. You can do anything else to him, but you can't kill him." And he did. He tested him. He tested him. He did everything he could in his testing. And sometimes when you're going through something, it's not that the devil is messing with you. It's because God's allowing you to be tested to see what your strength is. If you're going to stay strong, if you're going to be hot and cold, hot one minute, cold the next minute. And even I'm guilty of that. I think we all are sometimes. One minute we're hot, next minute we're cold. I mean, I don't really do answering question things. I don't know how to do a lot of that stuff. I don't bring people on live. So I don't know how to do any of that. As I said, I'm a very simple woman. I just learned how to stream, believe it or not. That's how simple I am. I mean, I'm not. I do like to joke around. I do probably do some jokes and laugh and be silly sometimes, get you laugh. Don't ever ask me to sing. Trust me. You don't want me to sing. I don't think I have much talents. I'm good at talking to animals, though. I'm good. I have a way with animals and other things like that. People, I've never been good with people. I sort of try to stay away from people unless unless it's a child, an elderly, a veteran, or homeless person, or an animal. Then I will help them. I'll do whatever it takes. Now I do have, you know, I seem like, I know I sound like somebody that people could just run all over. I might actually surprise you. A lot of people can't get a lot past me. They try. They do try. I admit, a lot of people have tried. But then they find out that being humbled is not being weak. Being patient is not being weak. It's actually the opposite of being weak. It actually is. It's opposite. See, I noticed through my weakness, every time we're weak, God gives us strength. It's weird how He does that. When we think we're at our worst time, we find just that little bit of extra energy in us. But yeah, don't think that. Don't take my shyness and my meekness or the way I talk a weakness, because it really isn't. It actually is my strength. I just learned how to use it at a very young age, unfortunately, through a lot of tragedy in my life. And yes, I've had quite a bit of tragedy. Of course, so many other halves too. I'm not taking from you or anybody else. I do come down hard on the government in the city and the states and the churches and religion leaders because of my experiences of what I've been through. I'm not sure how long I'm allowed to go on live, so I'm playing it by ear. Because like TikTok, I only have like 10 minutes to talk, so this is like I said. I mean, I do have some videos. I did one on TikTok. What was it? The meaning of what does it mean, or what did Jesus mean by the camel and the eye of the needle and the rich man? I did one on that one, and I explain it, and I'll probably do a video in here on that one as well. This is just my opening video so everybody gets to know me. I am 51. I don't actually look 51, so everybody says. I even still get ID'd at 51. They say, you look younger than you are. I don't know how. I got teeth missing, but okay, if you say so. But I guess people younger than me do have teeth missing. I mean, look at babies. Of course, they're born that way, but still, it ain't the point. Sorry, I'm not trying to be. That wasn't a joke or nothing. That's, look at when we're born, we have no teeth, so. But my teeth are falling out, so I do have hard time talking and eating. So I'm not. I guess you could say I sometimes feel like Moses on that. I'm not articulate. I'm not very educated. I mean, I did have some schooling. I went to high school. I did get to 12th grade, but I had cancer. So, unfortunately, two, my last 2 months I ended up in the hospital with cancer. And so I didn't get to graduate. And the last thing my mother said to me was she was going to make sure I couldn't get my diploma. And she did, thanks to my good old mom. Though I was supposed to have already walked down the line and I'm supposed to have my graduation certificate, they don't have it and they say that I never existed. I can't explain that one, nor will I am going to try to. I know it sounds funny and far-fetched, but to those who understand what I'm saying knows this. In fact, I pretty much don't even exist really at all, technically. And I'm not trying to be funny, but it's true. I've been homeless most all and all, off and on my whole life. This last time I actually chose it. I've been on a journey for a few years. I went from the Panhandle, Florida, up to the Texan area, um, until and I before I started my journey, I prayed on it, and I was like, I was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is what I want." He says, "It's not gonna be easy." So I said, "Okay." So I ended up. Right now, I'll get into the full story later on. The name, I don't like telling people names and stuff because people, I don't. They don't need to know names. That certain information, things like that. So I might just change names when I tell it. But during Hurricane Michael, most of y'all, I don't know if y'all remember Hurricane Michael, was when I started my journey. And I, to this day, swear. Now unless I believe it's an angel or demon, then I'll use their name. But other than that, I won't. But this one gentleman, I swore was an angel, and I swear, even to this day, I believe he was Michael, Archangel, because there's things he said that nobody would have known, only but me, and God, and those who are the closest to me, that knew my heart's desire. Nobody else would have known. And I never told really nobody. Nobody really. At least nobody, no other homeless person at least. So he showed up and he's like, "I don't know why I'm supposed to get you out of here, but," and he did. We left. He got me a backpack for free. Went back to the hotel I was staying at that I was in, just to keep over my head, that somebody gave me. And I'll tell the main whole story another day on a better video. And I might mess up a few more times on other videos since this is only my first time. And I'm not expecting anybody to really look at it. I do it mainly for myself. But yeah, so yeah, he got me, him and two, a friend of mine and her husband and children got me out of Georgia, and they helped me out. They too were homeless. They had just lost. They were homeless. They had bought a mobile home in the Panhandles, and when Michael hit, it was destroyed. So they ended up being homeless again, living again in their vehicle. But they were nice enough to take me to Alabama, Dalton. They call it Dalton, Alabama. There's a little area there called the Circle. For those who know where that is and those who live there. And I want to say thank you to the Denny's there, and to the the Denny's, the bus terminal, the trucks. It was actually a truck stop. and they had just put, the day I arrived, we had arrived there. They had just put in a what is it called, Greyhound in there. So they had just, the day we got there was the day they had their main grand opening at the Greyhound, and and everyone there was just amazing. It was just really sweet, and it was pretty ugly because a lot of things went down. And luckily Denny's there let me sleep inside because most people were not very nice to homeless people. And when it rained and stormed, they let us sleep inside where the door is over. And I remember there was a woman who was an angel there that gave me some money, but I'll explain more later in another video the story how I got to where I am. But I'm just giving you a lowdown, you know. So yeah, it's just, life is amazing, and you don't really know what you have until it's gone. You know, my whole life I've never really had anything. I've never really had parents. I mean, I had parents, but I never really had parents. If that makes any sense, and I'll explain that later too. And how I became to believe in Jesus, and how I knew there was memory missing in my mind, and I couldn't remember it, and how people would try to get me, say, oh, this is how it's supposed to have happened. And I remembered I was there, and it's like, no, no, no. And they didn't want to listen. So, yeah, my life was not, no, you know, nobody's life is perfect. And those who is, I'm talking about the spoiled, rotten brats and the spoiled, rotten ones that, you know, they could destroy daddy's car today and bully somebody tomorrow and have a new vehicle on Saturday, and their parents give them $200 on Thursday because they think they're doing what they're supposed to, and they don't really care what their kids are doing. And I was the one. I was pretty lucky, I guess you could say, in a way. But I knew how to fight my own battles. I just had to learn to control my temper, my anger, learn patience. And those don't come in easy. But yeah, and I'm sorry this video is not very good, like I said. And I wouldn't blame nobody if they don't want to listen to it, but hopefully my next one will be better. But like I said, this is just my introduction. Um, I'm only passing through. I never stay in one place very long. Maybe a week here, and you know, 7 months there, maybe 7 years here, or whatever. You know, it depends on the situation and what's going on at that time that makes me have to sit long periods of time or short periods of time. I am a loner. I don't do relationships. I do not like relationships. I was married. I I do like friendships and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like to be people's friends, but don't ask me for a relationship. Don't ask me for a relationship. I am hard on a lot of people because the way I see life is, I won't ever ask you to do something I won't do, but don't ever lie to me and don't use me, because a liar and a user is worse than is just as bad as a thief, a murderer, and a rapist to me. No better. A pedophile. Of course, we've been seeing a lot of those lately, but I'm not gonna at this point fingers or nothing, because like I said, this is just my first introductory, and I hope that maybe my future videos will become better. And as I said, I'm very nervous because I'm not very elegantly at talking, but I do talk from the heart and from the soul. And you can learn a lot from a person, especially what they've been through, if you just really listen to their story and their hearts. And when I talk, I really rather talk to the spirit, not the flesh. I really don't want Because flesh is weak. Spirit's willing, but the flesh is weak. It's going to give in every time. So that's why I don't like to talk in the flesh. I'd rather you hear my voice and just. And I guess there's a lot of people like that. But yeah, and I'm not a storyteller, so don't ask me to be a storyteller. And don't ask me to sing, like I said earlier. I really am bad at singing. I really can't sing. So, and this is my first, I just learned how to do this, believe it or not. I just learned how to do my first streaming. And I've actually got to 25 minutes, over 25 minutes, and it didn't cut off at the 10-minute mark. So I'm kind of surprised. So, but anyway, that's my life. You hear me. You'll hear my friend sometimes in the background coughing. His name is Chico Dyke. I don't want to give that name out. So we're going to end that stream. But he's my best friend. He's native. He's native. He's Apache mix. We talk about God a lot and Jesus. And he actually taught me quite a bit. Like the gate. He taught me about the gate. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have never known the eye of the gate, really. So I do owe him that. God does use it. And I think, see, I was heading to Phoenix, but I think God wanted me here for a reason. Because I think I've been watching something's going on with the Yellowstone Park. And of course, then you also got the wildfires in Arizona. But yeah, I was going there for a reason. But like I said, now believe it or not, I always had a dream of going to Arizona. As far back as I can remember, I mean, before I even heard or knew what Arizona was, I didn't even know Arizona was even, well, not Arizona, but Phoenix was even a state. I didn't even know Arizona even existed when I was younger. When I was a kid at the time. It's been in my head since, like I said, before I can remember. But I guess in a way, my friend kind of saved my life with everything going on at the Yellowstone. So it was a good thing I didn't go that direction. And as I said earlier, my heart goes out to all those in Hawaii, those who've been in Turkey and other natural disasters that's been going on in the world. But anyway, I thank you for your time, and I apologize that it's not fancy and there's no special music in the background. And I'm not like some of these people that can really do a showboat case for you. That's not what I'm here. I'm not here to showboat, as they used to say when I was growing up. There's no need to showboat. God doesn't need a showboater. Devil loves the showboating, not God. So, and that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. I think 28, 30 minutes is good, I guess. More than that. That's more than I ever would have gotten in my whole life before, anyway. So, yeah, if you hear a lot of background noise and a lot of coughing and a lot of TV and whatnots in the background, that's why. Because my friend, because my friend, when I met him, he said, I don't have nothing, but I can give you 3 hots and a cot. I said, that's more than what most people would have given me. And that's the truth. And the worst part of it is him being a pagan, and there's so many Christians out there. It took a pagan to do a Christian act. Where was a Christian? Why didn't a Christian do a Christian act? Why did it take a pagan to do it? That's pretty sad. 500,000 people call themselves Christ-like. Christian means Christ-like, and not a single one, when I was homeless, was Christ-like. And didn't Jesus say that what you don't do unto one of them, you don't do for me? But whatever you do for them, you do for me. And it took a pagan to do something nice for me by taking me in, but you couldn't even do it. And then you ask, well, we never seen you homeless. You see people homeless every day. That could have been Jesus you passed by. The guy with the tire blown, that could be Jesus for all you know. The woman that just got beaten up, you could have helped. That could have been Jesus right there for all you know. You never know what form Jesus will come to you in. You don't know what an, what the angel will come looking like. And he said, whatever you don't do to for these people, you didn't do for me. But anyway, I don't mean to be rude on that last remark, but I wasn't being rude. I was being honest, because that really is the truth. It took a pagan to do a Christian's Christ-like act, and not a single Christ-like people that called them Christians couldn't do that much. Anyway, God bless you. Keep in peace. Always wear the armor of God. And stay in the Lord. So He knows your heart. And He's not ever going to forsake you, even though sometimes it's going to feel like it. And you're going to be drugged through some things you don't want to be drugged through. But you're going to come out of them okay. Just don't blame God. Just keep your eye on the gold and on the heavens. Because the wedding feast is near. And don't backslide. Don't love this world and love the other. Do not hold hands with both worlds, because last night I just realized even I, as a Christ Christian, do that sometimes. And even I have to learn to not to. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning. And I'm still begging God for forgiveness. Every day I ask Him, God, if I sin, whatever sin I've committed, please forgive me. Whatever bad thing I've said to somebody today and not realize I said it, please forgive me. Whatever thought I may have thought about somebody, no matter how evil it may have been, please forgive. I always ask. I always ask for. And I actually do not. If I even think I did something wrong, I will break down in tears and pray for forgiveness and ask the person to forgive me. I will. I will. And the Bible actually talks about that. And again, that'll be another story for another time. But like I said, this is just more my introduction. I don't do a lot of live videos, but what I do, I try to make them interesting. But like I said, I'm sorry if I don't talk real elegantly, and I hope that somebody will listen to my videos and actually take them to heart, and maybe, who knows, get something from it. But anyway, God bless you. Keep the armor of God on, and always walk in the light. And remember, Jesus is the gate. All you have to do is believe. He is the gate. He is that little gate. All you have to do is believe. Be like the woman that had the blood issue and just touch the hem and say, I believe. Or the woman at the well, I believe. Or the man on the cross, or the soldier that was bled on, I believe. That's all you have to do is just believe. No matter what you're going through today. But anyway, God bless you.